dream, we really lit this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.
And now we are back.
And we're back. Yeah.
Act number 2. The whole first act is really about them building up the story of what's actually going to happen. So a little quick recap. It's them being 7 years old, them being 13 years old, all the characters, and then them being in college, and then Amy Smart's character, Kaylee, killing herself. And now Ashton Kutcher is on a mission to figure out how he can fix this and bring her back.
Yep. Perfect sum up, Alex.
There we go. And so, of course, the thing that Evan thought of right away is when they were playing Robin Hood. That was the first traumatic experience that they remembered together. So he starts reading the passage from there, and it takes him back, takes him all the way back. And now it's 7-year-old Evan with 21-year-old Evan's mind in there talking shit to the dad and saying how you're going to ruin your innocent daughter and all of that.
Well, that was a pretty intense scene, like the how that was written. That was good.
Calls him a fuck bag.
And he kind of cowered to it. He's like, yeah, you're right. He got into his inner subconscious there, right?
Yeah, and maybe it was just him being drunk. Maybe he started feeling like really sad. But one of the things that happened was Evan said, "You need to discipline your son Tommy because he's one sadistic pup," or whatever. And
he did say that, yeah.
And then the scene cuts, and now it doesn't come back to the exact same position where he left off. Now he's in a totally different room. Wakes up, he's looking around, and it looks like a college dorm room still, but it's not like their dorm room. It's not 2 guys that are living at this place. You could tell it looks like some couple lives there. And then he starts having all these memory flashbacks. It's like flashbacks of his entire new life, pretty much. Like what happened from that moment, and these little flashbacks. Gets a nosebleed. That's like one of the things when he's having
those nosebleeds, yeah.
And then we notice that Kaylee's back. She is back. So one scene ago she was dead, and now she's back. And Evan freaked out. And now
she looked good, right? She was the prep.
Yeah. And now what do you think of that, Nelly? Now this is the first thing of us actually seeing kind of things changing from the blackouts. What's your initial thoughts?
Man, I remember that scene specifically because the camera panned up from the foot of the bed. There's a couple of dolls, and there's their feet, and they're lying in the bed, right?
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
Yep.
And then I'm like, and then she talked different. She looked all pristine and everything, all done up. And then the room, it was like a not a frat, but like a sorority sisters room.
Yeah.
And then he gets out of bed. Once he goes to the shower, there's all these girls walking around naked and stuff.
Yep.
And he just got a towel wrapped around him. But they get talking and stuff. And so that's when I start thinking, I'm like, what's going on? Like she's a different girl, and they're going to get married. Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
And then of course Tommy comes in to ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to come to terms with what's actually happening right now, because for everyone else, this was their entire life, growing up. But for him, he's lived 2 lives at this point, and he didn't live that life from 7 to 20 or whatever, like everybody else. He just has the memories of everything that was going on. So even when he's talking to her, he's like, "Are we going to be together forever?" And
of course,
she gets a little offended. She was like, "Yeah, I thought that was the plan."
Of course you are. Yeah, what are you talking about? And that's when I first got what word came into my head was when I was watching that scene. Parallel universe.
Yeah,
and they end up saying it later on in the movie.
Yeah,
the parallel universes. And I looked into that. I listened to some YouTube stuff on parallel universes, glitches in the Matrix, stuff like that, dimensions, and some people seriously believe that they it's like these time slips. They get trapped into some sort of vortex for half an hour, or a minute, or 5 seconds. It all depends how long. Or someone said, "Oh, I went to sleep, I took a nap, and then it's like I missed the whole day." and they weren't on drugs or nothing.
Yeah.
You had some weird stuff. I heard one. I watched one real quick. There's this woman. She's taking care of her baby and stuff. No, I think the child was in first grade or something. But then the child was homesick. But then the child called from the school wanting to come home because they were sick. No, you're here. And they're like, what? No, you're my child's home. No, I think the teacher called and said, no, your child's at school.
Trippy.
And then she went to school or something. It was some story. Maybe it was just made up. But you get some really weird accounts, but that's what it is, the parallel universe that you remember something different from what everyone else is remembering, pretty much.
For sure. And even like when Evan, like she was Kaylee, Amy Smart, she's like, go into the bathroom, go clean up, and I want a quickie before school. And then he's walking by and everything.
Perfect.
And there's this one chick who she's getting out of the shower while Evan's kind of like wiping off his nose. And she's like, Evan's like, I know you. You were with those assholes throwing popcorn at Thumper. Because like in his mind was that. And she was, and he's like, I know you. Your name is Gwen. And she was like, seriously, Evan, lay off the blow.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't his life to her. Like he was with Amy Smart banging her the night before and whatever party or whatever, they were at. For all we know, it could have been Evan sitting down at that table throwing popcorn at Thumper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, we see when Evan calls home and he's trying to like get a hold of his mom or something. He's like, Thumper, you got the time? And he's like, you lose your Rolex? Fuck you, frat boy. So they are not friends like at all in this universe.
Oh, man. So now we're coming up on the scene. I believe this is right. We're coming up on the scene with the frat boys.
Yeah.
Where they're going through the hazing.
Yeah.
That was funny because he's like, he didn't want to he got into the role. Remember? He was like, at first he was like, I'm not going to do anything to these guys. Like, they're just regular students.
Yeah.
No, you got to like be an asshole to them pretty much. And he starts being an asshole. Reluctantly, of course.
Well,
that was cool though.
Well, I guess like one of the parts that always like resonated with me that was kind of crazy is like, so in the beginning, he doesn't even know what he's supposed to be saying to those guys.
Yeah, right.
Like, all right, you rushes, you know what to do. And
no, we're not rushes. We're
pledges.
No, there's two different words. There's rushes, and what's the other one?
Pledges.
Huh?
Pledges.
Oh, pledges. Yeah, rushes. Yeah. So he called them rushes, but they're actually pledges.
Yeah, and then it's
Alex, real quick. Pledges is when you're trying to get into fraternity. Rushes when you're in. I think. Is that true?
Okay. I thought the rushes are for like women getting into fraternities. I thought.
Maybe Crispy knows.
I could be wrong. I was never into the fraternity or sorority.
No, me neither. Maybe Crispy knows. Chris, you think? Where is he?
And but then you kind of see when he's like, "We're pledges, brother Evans, sir." And then like he looks at the other guy and he starts laughing. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Give me the Greek alphabet. Give it to me." And like he like starts spouting it out. He's got all this knowledge like in his head from like this current life, but it's like he's got to like unlock it almost.
Yeah, so he's got to like retrieve the memory. It's there, right? That's what they talk about. You don't really lose your memory; you just lose the retrieval ability to retrieve it efficiently.
Yeah, and even Amy Smart knows that something's wrong. She was like, "Yeah, you're walking different, you talk different, your accent's different." And like even when they're having sex, she was like, "Where'd you learn those new moves?"
Those new truths. Yeah, very good moves. She's happy. I've never seen a woman angry after having sex.
No, well, I mean, if she had her orgasm, and that's what he even said. Is it weird?
That's true. Yeah. Okay,
she's like, if you call multiple orgasms weird. So she was having a good time.
Hey, if a woman has an orgasm, she's in a bad mood, she got issues.
Yeah, for sure. What up, Legendary One?
For the record, Legendary One. What up, man? What up?
And Crispy said, "Be stroking." Exactly,
Yeah, laying pipe, Crisp.
That's where, like, he has these multiple lives, and it's all kind of clashing, and he's kind of like trying to like understand this all because he was like, "What do you mean I'm walking differently?" And she was like, "Yeah, your accent's different," and like because to him, he's the exact same person. Nothing's changed about him, but because that fork in the road at 7 years old, completely like changed his life.
Man, that really gets me thinking of parallel universes. Because imagine if that happened to you.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a Vanilla Sky, something like that?
Yeah.
I just remember that being a weird film. It was good, but I didn't totally get it. But you wake up, there's like no one around.
What up, Steve?
You woke up in Manhattan. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Legendary One says the Mandela effect. Yeah. Just remembering something like completely different from the way that it actually happened or the way that it was.
Oh yeah, when Sinbad doing that genie in a bottle or something, or it didn't happen, or
Yeah, I don't know. And seeing like if it was that bad, maybe he just wanted to get rid of it, from existence. Like I wouldn't want to be attached to a movie that was just that bad.
So, yeah, well, was it called Sinbad and he was Sinbad? Like, he was a
Well,
genie.
it was called Shazam, apparently.
Well, Shazam, yeah.
I don't remember.
No, I remember when it came out in the mid to late 90s. I remember that.
Nelson remembers it. I do not remember it like at all. I do not remember it at all. I remember Kazam with Shaq.
Yeah, I remember when that came out after. Hey man, that's just like Shazam or like like Sinbad. It was a copy.
Legendary One said, did the Monopoly guy ever have a monocle? I don't remember him having a monocle on Monopoly, but I do remember in Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, he meets that guy and he's like, hey, you must be the Monopoly guy. And he has one of those monocles. And he's like talking shit. Who is this?
I don't remember
person?
I don't remember him having it actually, but what do I know? As a kid, I played Monopoly.
I don't remember it from the games at all. And okay, so Evan plans this whole big, extravagant dinner and all that. And because now he actually got to have sex with her, like that did not get to happen in his previous life. So he is living his best life. Right now.
You know what? I never put that together. That's right. I never thought about that.
Yeah, they were kids, remember? They kissed. That was the most that we saw. I guess there was some stuff that happened in front of the camera when they were 7. I don't know.
That's different though.
That's not counting. I'm not counting that. He didn't even remember.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, and then when he goes back and he changes that anyways, that's the first thing that he changed. And and then so they're at the dinner and they're at the frat house, and then they're scrambling in. They're like, Evan, somebody wrecked your car. He goes out and his car's all fucked up and smashed, and how could this happen right in front of the frat house? And then
he's like, who would do that? I can't think of everybody. Everyone likes me.
And then they see the dog collar, and Evan freaks, and they're like, oh, is that a dog collar? And then they know that it's Tommy at that point. He even tries to get Evan tries to get close to Kaylee, and she's like, no, he might be watching.
Yeah, they're back to square one.
Yeah, all bad at that point.
Not good.
He's freaked out. He's fucking freaked at this point. Every traumatic experience in his life came from Tommy, pretty much, or at least the most recent ones. And so
Vicious Tommy, I call him Vicious Tommy.
Because we get multiple versions of everybody in here, and that was the Vicious Tommy. And so they go back to the dorm room, and he's looking, trying to find anything. They find some what's it called, pepper spray, and he's like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna be enough. He's like, I need to see if one of the frat guys got a gun.
He's like, no.
Yeah, that's what's crazy for her. It's Tommy's bad, but she keeps saying, oh, he's not gonna do anything to you, and then
he's just my brother. He's just having a bad day.
And then as soon as you see him, he's got the fucking bat.
You're ready to go.
He bashed in his car with and is ready to bash his head in.
Yeah, he shows no mercy. No mercy.
Yeah. And what did you think about that when it actually got there? When it got to where you actually see Tommy for the first time, he has the bat. What's going through your head as someone watching it?
I thought it was going down because I saw what Tommy did before.
Yeah.
Because what he did when he was a kid. So what, is he going to start holding back now? No. And he did not fail to deliver. Tommy did not fail to deliver. He gave a some pretty good shots to Evan.
Yeah. But it didn't last long. Tommy wasn't on the offensive that long.
No, all his fights were one-sided. Like he did some beatings. He pretty much,
Yeah, hits him with the bat a couple times, but then Evan pulls out the pepper spray.
Oh, yeah, got him good with that.
Got him good with that, and then what did you think about what happens next? What you want to tell everybody what happened next if they haven't seen it?
Well, hold on a second. Doesn't he go to prison?
Yeah, so he
right.
Yeah, he starts. So it's like all this trauma
because he dies. Well, I guess he beats him.
All the trauma from Evan's life is coming out. Like he starts punching him.
Oh yeah, just
in her baby. Like everything, and like you tried to kill me. Takes
another shot. Bam.
Like man, I just
takes a pipe, hitting those sandbags. That's what they do in the movies. Put sandbags down below, so just smack. And then he was bludgeoned, and then the authorities take him away.
He has the perfect life, from everything of what he thought, and because of Tommy, and because he couldn't hold back, he ends up killing Tommy. And now his perfect life is gone.
Yeah, Kayla doesn't like him anymore either.
Well, no, she didn't want anything to do.
So.
She didn't want anything to do.
Hey, Bo!
Hey, he beat the spit out of him.
Yeah,
and you know what's crazy too is like part of me didn't like that preppy version of him. You know what I mean? And I think he didn't either. You know what I mean? He was like, "This ain't me." You know what I mean? But everything was perfect, right? Outside of the brother being all twisted.
I was kind of happy for him because it seemed like he had a better life, and I was rooting for him. But then once he, fucked it up with killing Tommy like that, and the way he killed him. Like when he goes to prison, that was pretty cool. When he goes to prison, I like this stuff coming up. I like it, man.
It gets real wild because you have no idea. Like it goes from him having all these traumatic experiences to having what would kind of be the perfect life to him with Kaylee to like now a complete 180. Motherfucker is in prison.
Blood on my knife, shit on my dick.
Yeah. They were not playing around.
Yeah, it's like you got two choices.
You know what I'm saying?
They were not playing around when he got in there. And the guy who he gets roomed up with.
What does that mean, Bogart?
Yeah, the guy who he got roomed up with, he was like, man, you better not bitch out, man. Gonna end up someone's luggage. Like, will you protect me? He's like, fuck no.
No.
So now I'm watching, I'm thinking I would not want to be there. Then two, how's he gonna get out of this one? Because he's getting out because I've seen what he can do.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of how is he going to get out of this one?
Too early in the movie to know that it's the end, right? For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's not prison.
Especially once they got him his journals, I'm like, oh, he's getting up out of this thing.
Yeah, right.
Remember, he's freaking out on his mom. Like, did you bring the journals? And she's like, I brought 2 of them. Goes crazy. I need them all.
Oh. Because he's like, I'm gonna die in here. He's like, I'm gonna fucking die in here, mom.
Yeah, he's on the phone, right? I need them all.
Yeah, because it was real quick, I mean, they made it known real quick, like he's about to be someone's property in there, and then like just when he's like walking with his blankets and all that shit, and then he's walking back with the journals, and you can't have anything in your hand, like they just start fucking him up right there. I forget exactly what he did to him. But he hits down the journals, one of the white supremacy guys, and then it's like Evan like bosses up for a second.
Yeah, he socks them, right?
No, he tries, but the dude ducks it, fucking clocks him. Like Evan was big and bad versus Tommy, with the pepper spray, but he wasn't holding a candle to those guys as far as fighting goes.
No,
and he ripped out like one of the pages. I think like he's like trying to hold the books, and like the guys just rip out, they rip everything out of his hands, and he gets like one page, but that's like it's enough for him to go back to prove that
it was just a page. It was a page where he was writing about what he did in class.
Yeah, exactly.
So then it took him back to him as a kid. He's a trip when he's the kid, huh? When he goes back into the kid.
Yeah.
Like it all, like I was watching a little bit earlier, like it, you know, things start to make sense later on. Like, oh shit, you know what I mean? He was.
So what's that? So he switched back into the kid and after the prison?
No,
Yeah.
so well, what? No, while he was in the prison, so he's trying to get. He knows he needs to get those books back, but he can't do it by himself. So I don't remember what his Sully's name is.
So this is what he told the Sully. He said, "Listen, man, I'm gonna show you something, bro. You know what I mean?" And then he reads the little thing.
He says he can talk to God, is what he says.
Yeah, he went the religious. He took the religious route because he's seen how dude would be praying and shit.
Yeah, and he had the little pendant on him.
Yeah, and like so he took that route. He said, "Listen, bro, I could talk to God," and he goes in his mind. You know, he does the whole thing, reading the thing, and then in that he goes back to him when he's in the classroom and he sees the little paper things. You know what I'm saying? He just puts his hand right through them. You know what I mean?
Now, here's the thing here's one of the inconsistencies. If
how
he
it didn't change nothing,
that should have changed something, right? Like that would have changed something because he
comes back, the president's different. He's like, all right, still in prison though. I mean, see, look at it.
It should have been something that was different, even if it was very subtle. But yeah, that was one of the inconsistencies I felt.
Yeah, if he wanted to nitpick, yeah, you know what I mean. But also too, it's like you already have to account for there not being some consistency because it's like the chicken or the egg situation. Like okay, all these events happen, but when he blacks out, that's him in the future consciously driving him, you know, sending his consciousness back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like what happens first, the chicken or the egg, right? Like when the dad's choking him, right? You know what I mean? Because at one point his future self, you know, jumped into him and mouthed off to the pops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said,
that was in his next life. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The next parallel universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he
thought it was some stigmata.
That's what he said. Oh, they just came out of nowhere, you know. And I mean, it's crazy how he's standing up when he did this. Also, probably another inconsistency because he's always sitting down when he does this, and even
he comes back and standing. Yeah, that is true.
Because he's like falling to sleep, you know. Like I mean, at least that's what it seems like. He's like passing out, like every time this is happening, or blacking out, you know, or something.
I mean, he's in the pinta this time, bro. He's like, I got to do it. I don't give a fuck if I'm hanging upside down. He can eat them journals, bro. You know what I mean? He did that shit standing there.
Yeah, but he believed him enough, gave him the cigarettes. He's like, I'll bet you a pack of smokes that I could talk to God or whatever, and then gives it to him. He's like, so you believe me? He's like, yeah, straight up. And then the next thing is him. I mean, they conducted some plan. We don't know what the hell it is, but he goes.
The plan was just to get them in there.
Yeah, he's got to get himself in there, like pretty much locked in there. Like that's what it is. He's pretty much got to get locked in there without everyone coming in to fuck him up. So that's why he needs.
He arms them. He straps them up with a blicky. You know what I mean? With a shank. You feel me? And he goes up in there. And then there's that whole thing, the whole, you know, blood on my knife, shit on my dick. And he's like, well, you know, what about a blowjob? He's like, all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then,
why did he have to do it that way, though? Like
because it's like, I'm your bitch now.
You're either a killer or you're their prison pussy, pretty much.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm your bitch. You know?
No, I get that part. But I mean, you said that he had to lock himself in the cell to stay away from the guys to work.
Because remember, they're the woods in there.
They're the shot callers.
They're shot callers. They're key holders. That's what they would call the shot callers, right? So it's like that entire card is about to rain down on them once they figure out what's going on. So he knows once I go in there, I'm gonna pretend to suck his dick, right? And shake him right in his shit. And listen, that gives me a little bit of time, bro. You better come in there and hold that motherfucking gate closed. As long as, or God help me, I'll put in a bad word for you. Oh, okay. You know what I mean?
It was going down, and he had to get out of there before it went down.
Yeah. So he goes in there. All his journals are there. he pretends like he's about to suck the dude's dick, goes on his knees, shanks him in his shit.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
now I remember.
and then
Shakes
the
both
dude
of
runs
them.
in there and closes the door. He's holding the gate while they're trying to get in.
That's
And
the
he's
part I
there-
forgot because I couldn't remember why they're like holding
Yeah.
him back.
And he's
when
in there
did
just
that, yeah.
reading. He's in there reading. trying to
Yeah,
read
just
fast.
frantically, yeah.
He's not gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then of
It
course,
was a pretty intense scene, actually.
yeah, for sure. And like you even see, because there's a lot of times where like his thoughts of that world carry over to the blackout. Because like then when he carries over to 13-year-olds, like fucking animals or like something like that, and Kaylee looks at him all weird, like the fuck's he talking about?
Yeah.
And then he so they go back to the scene with the dog, and he gives Lenny, I don't know, a shard of metal, like I don't even know what the fuck it is, but it's a sharp object, and he says cut the rope. And because he couldn't in the previous one, he remembered he couldn't get the rope open, he couldn't get the bag open.
Yeah, because the dog was inside the bag.
Yeah, and so like when you go back to the original Lenny, he was like he's still traumatized about that. He's like,
Yeah.
I couldn't get the bag open, I couldn't cut the rope.
Yeah, so he's like, cut the bag, fucking Lenny.
Yep,
And
and
he
then
was scared. Yeah, okay.
it's crazy that Ashton Kutcher talked Tommy off the ledge. He talks him off the ledge, and it's like they'll put you in juvie for sure. Then you wouldn't want to leave your sister there and all that. And he's about
And then the dude shanks him.
fuck.
Oh, that's right. I was trying to remember where we were at in the movie. Oh man, that was dark.
Like literally, like nothing can go right. Everything that he does just
It's almost like it's
completely goes
destined to
wrong.
happen. It's almost like it was destined to keep happening in some form or fashion, no matter how many times he went back. And That's probably why that's probably what drove the dad mad.
Yeah, because you can't, no matter what you do, you can't change it the way you want it.
Yeah.
That sounds like the model.
Consequences and repercussions.
He goes back. It's
Now
now.
his father tried to change it.
Yeah, now it's this life, this third parallel universe where he goes back and sees his dad, and his dad even says that you can't change, you can't play God, son. You can't change who people
He's like,
are.
listen, I don't have enough time, you fucking old piece of shit. Tell me what the fuck it is.
Like you can't change who people are without changing who they were.
I love when it's the Ashton Kutcher grown version, like going into the young version, because he just be talking shit, bro. Listen, I don't have fucking time, you pervert. Stop touching your daughter. Stop touching your brother. Right? He's just
that was a good scene.
He's the fucking man when he right? He takes charge when he blacks out.
So this one is just all fucked up. Like this is probably, well, I guess.
Oh, because
his universe isn't, his world isn't super fucked up, but it's literally everybody else around him.
She's like a hooker in this one, right?
Lenny kills Tommy, so Tommy's dead. Lenny fucking goes to the insane asylum, and fucking Kaylee is pretty much Jenny from Forrest Gump at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, she's on drugs. She's doped up. She's she's sleeping around.
Oh yeah, she looks horrible.
Yeah, and it is crazy because she looked like shit.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher was. Hey, listen, Ashton Kutcher was still in there. He was like, "Listen, you look all right." He's like, "Listen, we'll get you a shower." You know what I mean?
Clean it up, clean it up a little.
And that's crazy too, because she didn't know. I mean, what was this? She remembered him but didn't, or what was she?
Well, she remembered him. Like, I mean, I guess because of the face. Because you remember in the beginning, she remembered.
Yeah, she didn't remember him. Yeah, at first it seemed like she didn't, but then she said something about she I don't know. She said
I could spare a minute for an old. I could spare a minute for an old friend.
An old friend. There you go. Yeah, she said that.
Yeah, she's like, I thought you were someone else.
Easy.
I'm waiting for someone. Hurry up.
Yeah, she's waiting for a perk.
Yeah, gave her all.
Never came.
A John.
Time is money, Evan. Time is money. And even when she comes in, she fucking covers up the needle and all that. So yeah, she's completely strung out. And he's got a bunch of money though and gives it to her. And then they go out and they're like talking, kind of giving her a breakdown of everything. And he's like,
where did he get all this money from, man?
He's like, that's why I never told anyone about this. And I'm never going to tell anyone. And she's like, wow, you never told anyone? Does that make other girls wet? It's totally making fun of him about this whole crazy ass story that he just told.
He's like, listen, I know your life's a shithole. Honestly, it's my fault. I did it. My bad. You know what I mean? Like, what do you tell someone? You know what I mean? They're like, you're like, I'm the one on drugs and you sound crazy.
You know what I mean? What did you think about this parallel universe? Nelly, after him going. Now this is like the third parallel universe in the movie.
I was just like, man, one of them's got to get better. And then it actually gets worse. Like the worst one, and the worst one that we haven't talked about yet. I'm thinking it cannot end on this. It cannot end on this. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, he tried to end it all on that.
I mean, I can't.
We woke up. We woke up. He went to stretch. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, that's that third parallel universe. That one was super.
And Lenny was in the bed, right? Lenny was in the bed.
Lenny was the one fucking.
That's a cool Lenny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long haired Lenny.
Long haired Lenny. Yeah.
I mean, if you remember, Lenny, who's played by, it's the same actor who plays Fulton Reed in the Mighty Ducks, is the old, just an adult version of him. I mean, he's in the mental.
Emilio Estevez?
No. Well, yeah.
When he was a kid,
he's one of the older kids in there. And so Ashton Kutcher, he's in the mental hospital, and he like steals one of the key cards or whatever to go visit Lenny. And Lenny's like, you put that shard in my hand, and you knew something big was gonna happen. Like, you should be where I am. And Ashton Kutcher just like feels like the biggest piece of shit.
See, that Lenny seemed very similar to the Lenny that he went to visit earlier at the house with his mother. When Lenny's mother said, "You angered Lenny, get out of here."
Yeah,
that was kind of the
version. That was really dark.
So Lenny was traumatized, but then he was so traumatized he was in a mental ward. But he was still. Lenny had the worst of he had a bad rap out of that.
Lenny was so upset. If Lenny only knew, right? He was like, man, every time you go back, bro, I get fucked up, bro.
Lenny got fucked up out of the worst of all of them, I think.
Well, because he wasn't even there in the second one. We don't see him at all. We only see the three: Ashton Kutcher and Amy Smart, and then Tommy. And so I wonder if what's his name, Lenny, was just living the same life, because all those traumatic experiences still happened for him.
Yeah, they did. So he never got a break. So yeah, so they're in the mental ward. Lenny said, "Yeah, you should be in my position." I was like, man, that was heavy. That was hard.
And what did he yell out to him? He yelled out something when he was walking out. Is that what he yelled out?
No, you might be thinking like the first one.
The first one, when he was like, he was like a mute. He didn't say a word, but then he yelled.
Oh yeah, you said the line earlier, Alex.
Yeah,
you said,
"I'll slit your mother's throat."
I'll slit your throat.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But so he was saying the line that Tommy told him.
Yeah.
When they were kids.
When he was trying to get the dog out of the sack.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Tommy should have died somewhere or another.
I mean,
Tommy was the problem, bro.
I mean, in the first one, they said he like just got out. He was in juvie and he was in prison. And the second one, he had just gotten out. That like right when he goes to see Evan before all that drama happens.
What is the
third one? He dies.
What's the telltale characteristic for a serial killer when they're children? They want to
killing animals, killing little animals. Yeah,
he might have saved several lives when they killed Tommy back.
Well, see, and that's what's kind of crazy is when they went back and they changed that happening. Then Tommy started getting good. Like he wasn't.
He was like a Christian now.
Oh yeah, when he was a Christian, what?
Yeah, because they don't stay long in that third parallel universe. Everything's fucked up, and the whole point is getting Amy Smart, on point. So now he fucks up up everybody's life in that one. And now,
I know, Ashton, way to go.
And then to try to make it right, he goes back again to the Blockbuster thing. And if he knew that the whole thing was going to blow up, I don't know why he stood right next to it. But runs up, get back, lady, get back. And then Tommy like goes and like, kind of protects the lady and the baby from the big blast. And then like Nelly Nell said, we see him and he's got fucking no arms and no legs.
Well, yeah, but true. So first it was, but the contrast was that he wakes up, huh?
He didn't have no legs too. I thought it was just arms.
It might have been.
No, it's just, you're right. Well, no, he was in the wheelchair, but right.
Yeah, he was in the wheelchair.
But I think he still can move his legs though. But he was in the wheelchair. But it was the fact that I brought it up earlier briefly. So at the beginning of the third parallel universe.
The
third parallel. So Lenny. So he wakes up. He's hey Lenny. And then Lenny's in bed having sex, right? The
Yeah.
good Lenny, right?
Yeah.
The winning Lenny. And then
Yeah.
there's no, that's okay. You have your fun. I'm gonna get up. So he goes to yawn. So it seems like a bright sunny day, right?
Yeah.
He goes yawns like this. Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
missing,
he's like,
he's missing his libs.
yeah.
And I
'cause
was like, what the hell happened? And then you see from the
He starts getting all the memories.
fireworks or whatever it was.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
literally
man, I
right
felt
before
bad
that,
for him.
literally right before that, it's Lenny in the mental hospital, there for life, fucking chained up and strapped to the bed. And then he's like, Lenny's like, while he's fucking in the next bed, say, "Oh, sorry,
Right.
did we wake you?" Like, no, it's cool.
No,
It's cool. Super excited.
no, that's cool. It's great. I'm gonna have a great day. And he goes to yawn. And he stretches his
He's
arm.
like, damn it, somebody
no
jack
arm.
me off.
Man, and that was, and
He's
seeing
like,
like that,
somebody hand job me.
that's what was crazy about he. It's the worst for him, but it was the exact opposite. Like, I mean, everything seemed okay-ish with him in that third parallel universe.
See,
Everybody was way better off in that fourth
Yeah,
one.
true. Yeah.
Everyone was better.
in one of the deleted scenes, bro, there was one where he tried to pee on the shit before it blew up, and then he wakes up, right? His cock is gone, bro.
What? Oh, yeah. Because hold on. Because I was gonna say, but Lenny was in bed with who? Kayla. We never said that.
Kaylee,
yeah.
yeah.
He's fucking
Yeah,
And that's
Kaylee.
when he started. That's when he started freaking out and like having the. It was like he starts going through the memories and he's bleeding, and then you see Kaylee come up and then like starts freaking out more and sees this whole side.
Yeah, because Kayla's
life
with Lenny.
Kaylee and Lenny and
Man, when I saw that was hurtful. Like seeing Lenny all happy and it steals her.
He ain't got no. He couldn't even fight Lenny right there. He's like, I can't even fight you. I'm gonna put hands on you right now if I had hands, bro.
and
It
seeing
was so
Lenny,
helpless, man. It was sad, man. I felt bad.
And then it
for
was
him.
Lenny pushing around. Lenny's just a hell of a guy. Let me get you, bro.
yeah.
Let me
And
push
then-
you
but then he
around.
throws. Remember that he throws himself off the wheelchair. You
Yeah.
take me back, Lenny. You owe me that much. Like he's so pissed at Lenny.
Yeah. Lenny's like, what the fuck? I don't owe you shit, bro.
I just saved your fucking life. You should be able to because nobody knows, right? Like nobody knows.
Yeah, they think he's a
other
crazy
parallel universes, so nobody knows anything different than whatever life they're in.
Oh, that happened in the hallway, right? When
Yeah.
he falls off the wheelchair, people are laughing at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody would be laughing about that. Like, no fucking way that
I know.
anybody
Come
would be
on,
laughing
why
at-
people was laughing at that shit, man?
Because she yells at him and says, "Oh, it must be so privileged that you're able to walk or something."
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You can't.
you're so privileged with your walking legs and your pointing hands to laugh.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he gets he has the genuine care and affection from them, but not in the way he wants. You know what I mean? He's like, man, you're supposed to be in love with me, not like sympathizing for me type of shit. You know what I mean?
Like, Nelly, how sorry did you feel for Ashton Kutcher when him and Amy Smart and Kaylee, they're having that conversation, where he's like, you ever think about us being together?
I know. Oh, he just sat there. He just looked off in the distance. Think about us. You just knew the answer.
Yeah.
That she's not gonna and then Lenny's over there waiting. Hold on, I go see Lenny, and they're just kissing it. She goes back to it. It looked like he just didn't want to live anymore.
Well, I mean, the next scene is him trying to kill himself. So yeah, exactly.
And that's where the good Tommy comes up, right?
Yeah.
Or was that Lenny?
No, it's Tommy.
It was Tommy.
Yeah.
It was Christian Tommy.
Yeah.
Right, Boogie? Christian Tommy came up.
And he's really
saved him.
upset. I guarantee he's mad as fuck when he sees Christian Tom. He's like, man, this motherfucker, man.
No, he is, and because Ashton
Oh, now
Kutcher
you
says
Christian.
he says to Kaylee, he's like, "Yeah, Tommy's really into this Jesus kick, huh?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, he got real spiritual after he saved Mrs. Howell and her baby." And
He's like,
he's there
"What?"
with no arms. He's like, "He saved her."
That's when he just broke down. He said he had enough
Oh,
after
man,
that.
I'm like, you know
Yeah,
what? I should've
like,
been-
I got no arms right here, but he saved her.
Like,
Oh,
if I had
man.
arms right now, I'd kill him again. I swear
But he
to
got a
God.
raw
Dude,
deal
somebody
on
give me my
that
journals.
universe.
Someone get me my journals right now.
Yeah, and he needed Lenny to fuck. I mean, he can't. The only because he blew up his arm, so he didn't have any of those ones that were like from his 13-year-old years. He didn't have any of those journals. He only had the ones from when he was 7. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why that was the one that he chose to go back to. Goes back to the Robin Hood one, trying to find the Blockbuster, and then shit just goes from bad to
because he feels like if I find a Blockbuster, I just completely erase that whole situation.
It never happens like at all. I don't know why he lit it. That was another thing. Like, what'd you think about that, Nelly? Like when he goes back to calling him a fuckbag and all that. What did you have any idea what was gonna happen?
I don't know why the fuck he lit that shit.
So now we're talking. Well, I knew something was gonna happen because I knew it couldn't end with his arms like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's wrap that up. So that's Act 2, and don't forget, everyone, go subscribe to the Silver Screen Takedowns podcast, and you'll have all of these acts will be coming out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you got all of them to look forward to. And we'll see you. Peace out.
Peace.